Hi all, I hope you're doing well. Today I am going to introduce you to the Raycast tool, which for me is the best productivity tool of 2024 and will remain so for 2025, I'm sure. The idea is to really present you the basics of the tool, explain to you a bit what it is, how it works, how to install it, etc. And so then we will go step by step and I will present the main features of the tool, what these extensions are, and how to install them. So, to begin with, what exactly is Raycast? It is a piece of software made specifically for Mac. So, unfortunately, if you do not have a Mac, it's impossible to install it on Windows or Linux for now. So, if you're not on Mac, unfortunately, this video is not for you unless you want to know how the tool works if you plan to buy a Mac later. Actually, what it is, to keep it simple, is a Spotlight, but on steroids. So, you all must know Spotlight. Actually, it's the tool when you press Command or Command and Tab when you're on a Mac, because I changed it. I use Option and Tab, and the spotlight that appears lets you search for anything and do basic actions. Undefined open applications, really a tool that is not bad, which is good by default. But Raycast is really there to improve that. Remove it, never use it again, and there you find yourself with a spotlight. But really very, very, very powerful. We have here some AI features that I will present to you right after. So, for the installation, the first thing is to go to the Raycast website that I have here. It's raycast.com. Here we have a very nice landing page where they really explain the features. So here it's about things like productivity, extensions, and that kind of thing. So it's also a free tool at its core. You can use it for free, although I advise you to get the paid subscription. I strongly recommend it because you don't have its full power. You see, you don't have all the features that are really interesting. I pay for it monthly. It starts at 10, and for teams, it's a bit more expensive. What I also strongly advise you to do is to check the little advanced AI option here, which allows you to have the latest models, because it's still one of the most interesting features of the tool. So it's a bit silly to deprive yourself of it. It costs 20 euros per month. And I really think it's well worth it. I don't regret it at all. I've been using the tool for almost a year now, and I don't regret it at all. It's truly an incredible tool that I recommend to many people around me, and each time they are really grateful that I introduced them to the tool because it greatly improves productivity through many features that I will present to you just after. There, 20 euros, you have all the basic tools. But well, to get an idea, you can install it and test it for free to see if you like it, and if you really enjoy it and want to go further, you can take the paid subscription. Knowing that I am not at all sponsored by iCast, I have no partnership with them. It's really just to present the tool to you and to make it known because it's a tool that I really like. Once you have downloaded Raycast, the tool, normally, if you have done your configuration correctly, you open it with Command Space. Here you have various suggestions, various things you can do. What I'll do, I'll show you 15 of the most interesting features of the tool according to me. We will go step by step, and at the end, I will present the last feature to you, which I believe is the most powerful one. So here we go, let's start. The first feature that I want to show you is in fact quite basic, but it's still very, very interesting. And that is the ability to open up floating notes. So how do we use Raycast? We press Command Tab and then we type the feature or extension we want to use. For me, undefined, it's the floating notes. I'm in English, so I am going to start marking notes. And here's toggle floating notes windows. I press enter and it opens. That's how. Raycast is really a tool that encourages you to use your keyboard, and only your keyboard, and forget about your mouse. Because the mouse is the worst thing in terms of productivity. because the time when you write, the time to move your hand to the mouse and back to the keyboard, it's really an impossible waste of time. And this is where Raycast really discourages this kind of behavior, really encourages you to use all the keyboard shortcuts, all the commands you can, all the actions, sorry, that you can do directly from the keyboard to be much more productive. First up, that one. It's a note, you'll say, but it's super simple, just a note. I've got that on my Mac. Yeah, no, because when you open a classic note on Mac, actually, when you click on another application, it just disappears under, unlike that I can use everywhere. And actually, it's a bit like a post-it on your screen, but this one's virtual, and you can use it everywhere. Say I'm coding. I want to cut some code, so I put it directly here, and it follows me everywhere. Then I can close it, and if I open it, so I write something, I close it with Command W. For those who don't know, on Mac, it's to close a window. Then I reopen it, and I will always have my notes. It follows me everywhere. I put it in the corner of the screen. I put them there so they don't bother me too much. It's a little interesting feature. It can always be useful. I use it a lot. It's very practical. I haven't explained it to you yet, but to use Raycast, it works in the form of extensions that we install, and extensions that are already there by default, created by the Raycast team, and others that are created by the community. Anyone can come and use Raycast and create their own extension to propose it to the community for everyone to use, and it's very powerful because in the end we have dozens, hundreds, even thousands of extensions available for different use cases depending on what you want. We end up with a really good ecosystem of productivity extensions. Then the second really interesting feature of the tool is a paid feature, if I'm not mistaken, and it's the integrated translation. Let's imagine I'm on a site or I have a word in mind and I want to translate it into any language. Instead of opening your browser, I'm on Arc, I press Command T, it's quite fast for me anyway, but then I should do Google Translate. If I manage to write, hop, and then I type my text and translate, or at the very least, you have DeepL, okay? Here the little hack is to highlight the text, use your shortcut, which allows you to translate directly. It's quite practical, but here with Raycast, we take it to the next level. You can translate everything really, but ultra easily in any application. You are on a completely different software, you add something, it's super simple, you do Command Tab, you type translate, and then a translator window opens, and you can write whatever you want, and it follows you everywhere, no matter where you are. Let's imagine I'm on the site here and I want to translate this because I don't know what it means. Command C, hop translate, hop, I paste it here and I have the translation and I can choose the languages, etc. Also, an integrated thing is that if I do Command Enter, it will copy it directly. Well, I mean, it will copy it for me and yeah, no, to paste it. That's not it. Normally, there is a feature to paste directly into the input where you are, the translation, quite handy. I can't find it, but I know it's integrated. Then undefined. And the third feature, it's something also very basic that's already on Spotlight, but not in this way and not as powerful. On Spotlight, you can do a calculation. 3 plus 3 equals 6. Good, super simple, but you can't go very, very far in the calculations you make. And you don't have access to everything. Let me explain with Raycast. If I open it here, I click on Escape, I go back to what we were at the beginning. For math, 3 plus 3, it gives a result. I can also do, systems of parentheses, really go far in math, do very advanced things. It's very practical when you don't want to open a calculator and all, bother to open another application, undefined. That's a pretty cool thing. Another very, very cool thing is that you can see the exchange rates for currencies. For example, if I type 2 Bitcoin, you are into cryptocurrencies and you want to know the live rate, hop 2 Bitcoin, it shows you the live rate BTC, for example. In euros, you have it. So if you want to have it in dollars, you have it. Or, I don't know, for another currency, you can find out. Or you can even have, conversions of two currencies. For example, if I'm not mistaken, if I do €1 in dollars, it gives it to me too. These are little things that are extremely practical in everyday life. I don't know all of them. I'm still discovering the tool. There are plenty of features that I discover every week that are really very practical, but here I'm really presenting the simplest and most interesting ones so that you really have all of the basics. Another very interesting feature that I often use is the history of your copy pastes. Normally, you'd have to download another app, and it's pretty silly to need a separate one just for that when this is a true all-in-one. Plus, the feature itself offers a lot. So you just type clipboard history, hit enter, and there's your entire copy history. I believe it lasts for several months, but it's a bit shorter for free users. So you have all the information right there. You are able to search, create filters, etc. Undefined. Look for all types of copy paste. The shots, you've got the shots. So if you copy an image, you directly have the history in. It's all central here, the images, the text, all. Full access. It's super practical. Then we are at the eighth or ninth feature is the ability to create shortcuts for quick access to applications. And many other things you do. You do quick link. Here. Add it quickly. No, not like that. Like this. If I find it, I don't really use this feature much. So you hit create quick link and make shortcuts for a site. For an application, you can do quite personalized things with arguments that you pass directly in the link. It can be practical, it can be useful. Personally, I don't use it, but I know it can be very interesting for some. Then you choose in which application you want to open it. Very practical, it's a little thing to know. Undefined. For those who are into artificial intelligence, it's also an interesting extension which I believe is created by the community. It allows quick access to Perplexity, for example. For those who don't know, it's an artificial intelligence that, unlike ChatGPT, really relies on the internet to conduct searches on the internet ultra quickly and in a way, how to say, in a more efficient and relevant way. In fact, it aims to simply replace everything as we use it all. It's not powerful. I advise you, if you don't know it, to go and see and try it, and to use it because it's quite a significant gain in time and productivity, undefined. So I write Perplexity here. I do ask Perplexity. Normally, if I press tab, there we go directly to the other input. So for example, so how would it be possible for me to go to Japan easily and also for not too much money? Enter it and it will open the page and do the search for you. Unlike before when you had to go to the site, type Perplexity to do your search. It's a lot of clicks everywhere. There are waiting times and loading times. And you might say it's a few seconds, but over the month or the year, it's a lot of hours lost. Then here is something that I use a few times. And it's quite practical. So as you probably know, normally to close an application, you go up here and you do force quit. And right there, you select the application that you want to close. Now, a little trick, a quick hack that I use is I do kill process, press enter, and there you can really choose in all the applications that are open. And so you close the one you want. I feel like closing. Raycast, no. My browser arc, I'll shut it. Hop, I press enter and it will really completely close the app, kill the process. So if it's stuck, it's quite handy. I invite you to really explore the tool yourself if you've installed it to see everything you can use there. The application, what you can already do. There are plenty of interesting things, which I invite you to discover. It really depends on your use cases, your profession, what you do in life. So go ahead, find it, install extensions. To install an extension, what you simply have to do is go to the settings. So press Command, comma, you go to extension. Here you have those that are already installed. Then you click plus, install from store, and there you have it, the store, the applications, and the extensions that you can install for free. Also, a pretty handy feature is that you can compress images directly via Raycast, instead of going to a website and doing it yourself. So what you can do is simply use the tool for that. You open Finder, then you select an image. So right here, I have my image and I select it. I open Raycast and I do compress image. Allow. And there you have your compressed image. So compressed to 60%, it's fast. Something quite practical for those who work a lot with images like me. I'm a developer and I often need to work with images, and it's practical. And it's free as well, really. Then we are at the 13th point. It's the act of creating snippets. So let me explain. Often we create a copy of the text. Very often it's always the same. And it's a rather interesting possibility that allows you to create snippets. Actually, you give names, you use it directly, and it will directly paste the snippet text into your clipboard. Demonstration. I do create, I write snippet to find it quite easily. Create snippet. Let's say I have a bit of code that I use often. So I write for the code. Here, for example, I'll take a piece of code that I use often. Let's imagine, or I'll paste it here. I press enter, or rather command enter to save. Then to use it, I type code. And oh no, sorry. You actually have to write search snippet. There you go. And hop. And there you go. It's copied to my clipboard and I just have to paste it wherever I want. There you go. Quite simply, you can use it as you wish. For your use case, to see what you want to do with it. The Windows management, and which lets you really play with all your windows and place them well. It's great for those who like things neat and want every window precisely placed. So everything is perfectly arranged on screen. This can really be useful. So what you do is you open Raycast, type Windows Management, and you'll see all the actions you can perform on your screen, for example. We can put it here. Actually, the selected application will be placed as you wish. For example, let's imagine that I want to put it in full screen. I do Window Management and all the suggestions that will be proposed. And if I want to put it in full screen, I click here. If I want to maximize it, it can be useful, for example, if you have, let's say, two applications you want to put side by side. For example, I will put on my right or my left. Sorry, here like this, and I have another one and I put it on my right. There you go. Quite practical rather than taking it here and doing it yourself, which is quite annoying and not very practical. Then features the last feature, which is, in my opinion, by far the most powerful, and which is what made me download and that made me download Raycast in the first place, the feature AI. So to use it, you need to get a paid subscription, because by doing it for free, you can do it by downloading community extensions, but it works. I used it for some time, a few weeks, but then I directly used Raycast's integrated AI, the paid version, which is 10 times better. In order to use it, settings give you AI. Here you can configure it. Till you pay, you can't access this window. But basically the idea is to trigger, to display a window. You can directly talk to an AI via a keyboard shortcut. The version, well, the basic method when you use AI, for those who know, ChatGPT, Claude, etc., is that you are on the browser. So for those who are not on Arc, it's even slower. But me, what I was doing, Command T, there I type ChatGPT, I wait a loading time, I type my prompt and I get my answer. And it's the slow version. And moreover, if you were doing something on another application, it means you have to switch to your browser and use ChatGPT. And in addition, you only have access to ChatGPT. You don't have access to any model unless you have, well, multiple accounts everywhere and have paid for the different models. But there you go, pricey. It's not very efficient. And Raycast offers a way to do it much faster, undefined. What I did is I set up, we're going to go to Raycast. I set up a keyboard shortcut, here, AI chat, to open a window, powered by AI. Okay, I'm going to show you that directly. I hit Command-Shift-P. There it opens a new window, and I can, well, ask the AI whatever I want. I set it up to be Claude 3.5 Sonnet by default, but you can set up any model. Say, to AI. I greet it, she'll reply. And now I want to change the model. Now I want to use GPT-4o. No problem. I will ask the same question. And here I can still change the model. I can change the creativity. And you really have access to all the models, whether it's Mistral, Llama, or Claude. You have all the GPTs. And you have any model that you can play with and test. The most powerful thing is that you can even click on images. For example, if I write create an image of a cat, it will create an image for me. It's ultra powerful. And the reason is because normally you have to do everything from within your browser. You can also create these sorts of micro GPTs. Now, they're not real GPTs, but they're almost the same thing, actually. You just click here on the little plus button right here, sorry. And then you put the custom instructions in if you want to have a more personalized AI that's made for your needs. You just have to enter your input here to say its do's and don'ts, and you have your model that you can use. Like, I go here to see all the presets I have created. I have one for Twitter picture. Rather than do Command-Shift-P to open my window, I can do this directly from the Raycast Spotlight. For example, I just type Twitter, and there I have my GPT directly, which I can access by clicking on Enter. And there you go, I have access to my GPT, and I can ask it questions. Also very strong if that you can send it images. So here I open a new chat, Command N. Let's imagine I wanted to analyze an image. I can either paste it from the clipboard. I can also send it the calendar. I can send it the screenshot I took recently. If I go to search screenshots, here. So there are all of the screenshots that I've taken recently, and I can paste one directly in there. For example, if I give it this screenshot, I can tell it to analyze this image. And then I can ask all sorts of questions. Just like that. If I also, for example, copy and paste lots of images, I can then paste them in succession to work faster with them. So what's really great is that this window follows you everywhere. It truly has priority over all the windows you have by default. So no matter where you are, let's imagine I have some code, that's my use case, but it can work with anyone. Instead of undefined, take the piece of code here, copy it, go to the browser, etc. Wait for the loading times and get the answer. All I have to do is have my piece of code here, so I press Command C, open my window, paste it, and I have my answer directly, no matter which application I happen to be in. So there you go. And well, there are also surely plenty of other things that you... yes, there are surely plenty of other things that you can do with it. This AI feature, and I'll let you discover it for yourself because it really depends on the use cases and I only use it for the use cases are quite specific, but there you go. Feel free to explore the tool. Feel free to explore the tool as I wanted to specify just before. And there you go. That was all for this video to demonstrate all the basic features of Raycast so that you are comfortable with the tool and that's the basics of this incredible tool. I hope you liked it. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more tutorials like this.